There are at present more than 1 billion Hindus in the world, mainly in India, but they are also present in many other countries. Hinduism is the most predominant religion in India and Nepal. They are also in significant numbers in the United States of America, Canada, Trinidad, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Indonesia, including Bali, Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, etc. For more details, website of the book www.hinduismpath.com may be visited. It is believed that more than 60 million Hindus live outside India. Although Hinduism has originated in India, it has spread now all over the world through mainly by the process of migration of Hindus to other countries rather than by conversion of other religions into Hinduism. The Angkor temples of Kampuchea, formerly Cambodia, gives evidence of Hinduism in the Southeast Asian countries around 12th centuries. This temple was built by King Surya Varman, obviously a Hindu name, suggesting that Hinduism was the main religion of the region in that period. The inhabitants of this religion were vastly influenced by India since the 1st century or even earlier. They had very close contacts with India and also adopted the Hindu religion. In more recent times, British who ruled India sent large number of Hindu laborers to many of their colonies like West Indies, Mauritius, Fiji, Guyana, South Africa and many other countries to serve in their agricultural field. After the end of colonial rule, many Hindus also got an opportunity to migrate from these countries to UK and other similar colonial countries as they obtained the visa facility. The first large batch of Sikh farmers migrated to USA in the 18th century when similar job opportunities were offered. Small trickles of Hindus migrated thereafter, but the main influx of Hindus to USA occurred after 1960s as the migration rules softened. Together with the followers of Buddhism, 360 millions, Jainism, 10 millions, and Sikhism, 23 millions, which may be considered as the companion faiths and which share very considerably the religious philosophy with Hinduism, the total number swells to a staggering 1.5 billion worldwide for this whole group of religions, almost a quarter of the total population of the world. Hindus are generally known to be tolerant and non-violent people. Undoubtedly, there are exceptions too. India has been home to people from almost all countries and religions, philosophy and cultural heritage who have lived together harmoniously for thousands of years, creating a vibrant tapestry of more than 2,000 ethnic groups. It has more than 1,650 languages as mother tongue of different groups. Most of them have their own script. India has 22 languages recognized by the Constitution. Both Hindi and English accorded as official languages. There is no doubt that the ancient philosophies of the Hindu culture are now regarded with great respect and enthusiasm. Yoga is taught in many universities and other teaching institutes in India and abroad, especially in the United States. Modern medical facilities all over the world have acknowledged and recognized the concept of Ayurveda, the ancient health science of India. The ecological conduct of the Hindu philosophy has become a world issue. Reverence for life and vegetarianism are held with respect. Meditation is a household word in the United States and many other countries. But above all else, it is a recognition of the root concept of the Vedic teaching that all beings, human and others, are the children of one supreme divine, whatever our faith. Underlying this ancient philosophy of India is a vital ethical principle of non-violence, ahimsa. In tomorrow's world, this principal doctrine of equality of all creation may well become an important torch-bearer. Hindus have performed generally very well in most countries where they have settled. They have earned a high reputation for attaining a good academic education, maintaining a superior family system, a low crime rate, and big economic progress. It has been perhaps one of the greatest challenges for Hindus living outside India to integrate and adapt themselves to different cultures, while at the same time retaining their own identity of religion and tradition. Hindus cannot afford to throw away their long-cherished heritage, but some useful changes may be needed periodically. Human evolution is a saga of such endeavors where the good and worthy is accepted and the harmful and unworthy is dropped. Only 50 years ago, the Hindu Swamis and Gurus lived a very austere and simple life. They lived in ordinary cottages, ate the simplest food, traveled in lower class, and did not enjoy any luxuries of the modern world. All this has changed considerably. The sannyasin who has pronounced renunciation now would consider this vow as a vow of mental rather than physical abnegation. This change, however, may not necessarily be regarded as a serious shortcoming. It may be accepted more as a sign of changing times, although a sense of propriety is essential. Even so, Swamis, Sadhus and Sannyasins do play a very important role in Hindu society. Many personally guide the lives of thousands of families, others run institutes that provide social service. Even those who live reclusive, live in the mountains, by the deep meditations send spiritual vibrations for the good of mankind. Priests who conduct the rituals and ceremonies in the temples and homes of the devotees are not always well trained and professional in their behavior. A judicious supervision and guidance in this regard may be called for. In recent times, there has been a perceptible change in the conduct of spiritual teachings and ceremonies. Swami Vivekananda declared boldly that the ritual and worship ceremonies may not be in the sole hands of Brahmins and hereditary priests. Anyone with aptitude and proper training may do so with impunity. In US, all church ministers need to undergo full course in university or some recognized institute. Similar arrangement is being worked out for priests in Hindu temples also. The continuing shortage of manpower in this field only enhances the need for such professional approach. Hindus are much more family-oriented than most other religious communities. Starting and maintaining a family is considered a religious duty, which is well defined in Grihastha ashram. Sacrifice is the bedrock of good living. Hindus believe, basically, endorse the family-style lifestyle in preference to an individualistic one. Sharing and caring are virtues of great importance in Hindu society. Children are often given the highest attention in their formative years. The need for the children to learn the basic discipline of the traditional Hindu family, however, cannot be overemphasized. Most youngsters do well in education and conduct. Perhaps parents may teach best by example. Elders have enjoyed very respectable position in Hindu society for millennia. The Vedic teachings, treat your mother as God and treat your father as God, gave high status and dignity to the elderly. Even though the parents generally don't live with children now, they often arrange to live near to each other. In olden times, the elders occasionally had an undue dominance over the youth, especially the daughter-in-law of the family. In some urban places, the tables have turned and it is the elderly who are pushed to the wall and have become targets of humiliation and abuse by the young. Undoubtedly, a harmonious balance is needed for healthy survival of the family and society. Women have enjoyed a twisted status in Hindu society. In the Aryan patriarchal society, at the beginning, women were pushed down along with the lower caste to remain ineligible to learn the Vedas. This was later rectified and they were given equal status in all Hindu rituals. The prevalence of the dowry system in direct or indirect manner still continues in certain areas, especially occasionally with dire consequences. The plight of widows in many places remains pathetic and shameful. The women in Hindu society are of late becoming very vibrant and awakened of their rightful position. Although traditionally Hindu women are not encouraged to work outside their homes, the modern setup has changed that option considerably. Typically, Hindu women in the past gave lot more attention to make homes places of serenity and joy, while men folks worked outside. While more and more women are now working to supplement the home income as well as to fulfill their own dreams, men have not taken to domestic chores enough as yet. Divorces are not favored by Hindu society, but they are becoming more common than before. More and more women are now working. Their contribution to the economic structure of the family has increased significantly. Although the divorce is not sanctioned in the Hindu religion, many suggest changes while keeping in view the dynamic nature of Hindu theology. Swami B.V. Tripurari said, if a husband abuses his wife and this cannot be resolved, she should not remain with him. Any woman who finds herself in such a situation should get out of it for her spiritual and material well-being. Sex has never been considered a sin in Hindu philosophy. The open expression of sexuality in some of the temples and detailed descriptions in the scriptures, especially in Kama Sutra, is an indication that sex is accepted as a natural activity of human beings. Sex outside wedlock, however, is not sanctioned in Hindu society. There are some cultural differences also. For example, dating is not traditionally allowed. Even married couples do not hug or kiss in open public, and in mixed company, women often remain in the background and do not participate in conversations and arguments along with men. Some changes are of course happening, but these may be done with discretion and wisdom. Respect and pride for one's own culture is a necessary ingredient for good and happy life. Hindu society generally has a tolerant attitude towards sex. It largely leaves the choice of birth control and many other sexual decisions to the individual and family. It does not extend any condemnation or code of harsh punishment in matters related to a person's sexual behavior. Hindus recognize that life starts at the time of conception, but they generally have a tolerant attitude towards abortion. This may have been a result of their progressive attitude of adjustment according to the present situation and needs of the society. Suicide is not sanctioned in Hinduism, and the individual is expected to complete his mission of fulfilling all his karmas in its natural course. In case of a terminal condition of life, a voluntary fast, vrta, until death is sometimes accepted as a spiritual option, especially among the Jains. The present time seems to be a period of transition for Hindu society. Undoubtedly, the rituals are an essential part of Hinduism. They have an important role to play, creating an eternal bonding with religion and culture. Their contribution, however, needs to be modified to suit the modern age of science and technology. Lengthy rituals performed without any understanding may be better molded to make them precise and purposeful. In America at present, the Hindu priest usually explains the meaning and significance behind each step of the ritual associated with most wedding and death ceremonies. A judicious combination of ancient Sanskrit as a traditional culture along with the regional languages, Hindi or English as a practical language may be a prime requirement in years to come. The ravages of the caste system have not yet completely disappeared. Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Swami Dayanand Saraswati started the crusade against the caste system. Mahatma Gandhi spent his lifetime in serving of the low caste, telling them Harijans, the people of God. Bhimrao Ambedkar, 1893 to 1956, waged a war against this evil, which also gave birth to a vertical division of Hindu society. Even though he is directly involved in writing the new constitution for free India in 1950, he soon became frustrated by the slow pace of change. The changes in the laws alone do not bring about the changes in the hearts and attitudes of the people. The real solution lies not in blaming, quarreling and bringing down those who are in the superior position, but as Swami Vivekananda said, the uplifting the downtrodden. Hinduism has always been a dynamic religion, absorbing changes and modifications as the situation and circumstances demand. Any violence and hatred by a religious organization or individuals, however, is unbecoming. Some take the position that protecting religion and God is an ordained duty. This responsibility may be best performed by the duly assigned personnel. They may also remember what Swami Vivekananda recalled in similar circumstances when he heard the divine voice of Mother saying, "Do you protect me or do I protect you?" Despite of several hurdles, Hindus outside India have maintained a very close connection with their religion and culture. They have built an enormous number of temples, some of which are most gorgeous and elegant. At home, most Hindus carry on their daily routines in a more traditional manner. They also observe many Hindu festivals and customs fairly well, although with some modifications as suitable. It is rather interesting that in some places Hindus are even more conventional and orthodox than Hindus in India.